Hello everybody, this is Jordan here with TrueHumanity. I'm pretty happy to be back here. Today I think is going to be an excellent video to kind of separate or continue on this journey we're here at TrueHumanity by introducing these other topics that I had spoken about in my launch video, the first video on my channel here. And I know we've talked a lot about catastrophism and its history and the foundation and bedrock to which, moving forward, we're building the rest of this story upon. But I think now, as we've wrapped up that major portion of catastrophism, and we're going to introduce and go over the ancient advanced civilizations and the history of civilizations on this planet for at least the last 5,000 years, give or take. And I think people will find value in that, but I also believe that it's time to now begin introducing and discussing and examining these other topics such as the unifying principles, the human condition, current affairs, and so on. So today I think is a good little intro video, and it'll probably end up being shorter, but I think the purpose of this video will be served through this time frame that we can introduce what I mean really by the unifying principles, at least laying somewhat of a foundation. So moving forward, when we continue this discussion and these topics that aren't ancient civilizations, but still connect to it, I mean, it's all part of one story, but these are standalone and can also serve on their own terms. So today, what I want to do is kind of briefly introduce what I mean by the unifying principles. And I think the best way to do this is through this documentary series called One Strange Rock. And I'll do a very brief overview and kind of give you a snapshot of what I mean. So within this video, I'll give you the brief snapshot of what this One Strange Rock series is about. And how it really truly shows the immense beauty of our planet. I mean, that if I had to sum up and tell somebody just in one sentence what this documentary has done, it's to show the beauty of our planet. And I think we've lost that and forgotten that over time. So, One Strange Rock, One Strange Rock, the miniseries documentary, tells the story of how life survives and thrives on planet Earth. And it's told through the experiences of 8 astronauts and their unique perspective of being away from Earth. I think a total, for the astronauts who are, the foundation of this mini-series documentary, in total they've been orbiting and away from Earth for over 1,000 days. That's a lot of time in space. That's enough time for you to, as a whole, to see all this story, each part of their story, to kind of get a feeling and an understanding of what they're looking at, the overview effect of Earth. So I think there's some important aspects of this series. Well, the whole series is important, but to understand what seeing the Earth through their eyes is like, as a whole, as a planet. So, real briefly, the series One Strange Rock, it's currently available on Netflix in the United States. It originally aired on National Geographic Channel, and it's hosted by the actor Will Smith. And I'm sure I don't have to go further than that because everyone should know at least who Will Smith is. And hopefully with this information you can find it if it's not available in your country on Netflix. So, One Strange Rock provides a terrific introduction to the unifying principles topic by introducing and exploring the physical unifying principles between humanity, the Earth, and the cosmos or the universe. I think it's best not to provide too much detail here, mostly because the documentary itself is just so beautiful. From the information and the details they provide to the visual masterpiece of seeing different aspects of our planet, how it works, the inner workings, to these wonderful vignettes or these little stories within the series of many researchers and explorers who are out in the field exploring and examining different topics within the landscapes of the earth. You know, from caves to mountains to rivers to land to sea. I mean, just everything. There's just so much in the series. It's just so beautiful. And as I've, in previous videos where I was discussing the scars on the landscape from the Younger Dryas impact, it's very difficult to put into words what I'm describing if we do have the visual pictures or videos or whatever to go and look for yourself. So I think it's important that, yes, it's interesting and very beneficial to what I'm saying here, but nothing does it justice by actually watching it and seeing it with your own eyes. So I will say this. The series does follow a building block approach, and each episode touches on a specific topic. Excuse me. With the main focus on the testimonies from these astronauts within that specific topic, and how about being in space and looking back down on this planet has completely changed their lives and their perspectives on this planet. Like nothing could almost. Very few things could do, And they explain and, go into further detail what I mean by that. So real briefly, I want to touch on some of the main focus areas of the series. This is by no means exhaustive or detailed or whatever, but from these several points, I think you can get a good understanding of what this series is about and why I believe this series is important in tying it in with the unifying principles topic, because I think it serves a purpose of laying a firm foundation with evidence of unity and unifying principles within this documentary. So a couple points about this series and this documentary. So these are kind of what some of the episodes are about. So one is like how the Earth has been shaped by cosmic impacts and forces over time with some regularity. And somehow, life finds a way of surviving and evolving through these catastrophes. And another kind of topic area within the series is how the Earth itself has its own line of defense or lines of defense to protect life on Earth and avert major destruction more frequently than does occur, And it's amazing how everything works together to kind of set up that lines of defense, shield, whatever you want to, whatever name you want to call it. There is a great episode showing the evolution of life on this planet from single-celled to complex organisms and animals. And it does a good job of examining the life and death cycle of existence here on planet Earth and the importance of the complex interconnectivity of all life on this planet. And it also shows how the human species and its complex brains and neural network have played a major part in the planet's current state and how it got here. Also discussed is how humanity can think about and begin to explore and develop into an interplanetary and interstellar civilization, and also the risks and rewards that await such a journey. So you got to remember, within this series, it's not just the astronauts who are, giving their testimony, their experience, their story, but it's also people on Earth, whether that be, astrophysicists, geologists, astrobiologists, whatever little mini story they have, example within this, within each episode. So that it gives you this well-rounded pool of knowledge and evidence to kind of show you what they're talking about, where they're going, and so on. So with this mindset on exploration, the series also examines how life here has terraformed this planet to meet the needs of the species that inhabit Earth, and how this could translate into, so-called geoengineering future worlds into habitable oases, and how it's not science fiction, but it's quite near possible, and how they're working on that and moving forward, etc. And I've talked about Elon Musk and SpaceX and what they're doing in this, infancy stages here to kind of set the ball rolling on that. And one of the most breathtaking aspects of this documentary is the testimonies and the viewpoints from these astronauts, and how their experiences away from being on this planet has given them a new appreciation for our home here. I think that's probably the most invaluable aspect of this documentary. And most of all, the series itself emphasizes time and time again how everything is interconnected, not just on this planet, but the cosmos and the universe as a whole. So, in reality, I cannot do it justice here by my words alone. There's just no way. And this is probably my favorite documentary series, along with the documentary series Cosmos, which I believe was Neil deGrasse Tyson 4 or 5 years ago. So, I think we can agree that most of us are enamored by Netflix and the other streaming services. So I would urge everyone who may find interest in this, what I just discussed, to go watch the One Strange Rock series on Netflix. It's 10 episodes long, and each episode is standalone, and they're under an hour in length. So no one's asking you to binge 10 straight hours of this documentary. By all means, go for it if you want, but no one's saying to. So I think this series provides a great introduction into what I mean by the unifying principles. Even though this is focused more on the physical aspect of it, this can serve as another great foundation point moving forward, so we can begin discussing more deeply the other aspects of the unifying principles, because what's discussed and examined in this series, or what I've said here so far, is by no means exhaustive by any means. So in future videos, I'll definitely expound further on what I mean by the unifying principles, what this documentary and what I just discussed here is about, and how that ties into these future episodes and topics. So I know this was a shorter video, and it was kind of just an intro overview, because really I would urge you to go watch this miniseries, this documentary, because I think after viewing it and watching it and putting away distractions while you watch this, turn your phone off, turn your TV off, get into a point of where you could just focus on this. Even if you can only watch one episode at a time, that's fine. But that you can really understand this planet, first of all, this beautiful home we have here on Earth. And you can see through many different disciplines, many experiences, testimonies, etc., just the amazing wonderment of what we're sitting on here, what we're living on this planet. And so I think if I could close today, the one thing you could do for yourself today, after hearing this, or before or after watching One Strange Rock, is that begin looking up, literally physically looking up and lifting your eyes to space and to the cosmos, because there's all the proof and wonderment you need. Excuse me. And there's so much light pollution and other distractions right now in our lives that are engrossing and encompassing everything we're doing. And I think it's important that we take time out of our day, every single day, to appreciate our life, this planet, everything beyond this planet, and so on, because we're getting into these narrow mindsets, these echo chambers, this polarization, and so many different things, not just politics. And I think we can see the human condition deteriorating through this. And one way you can mitigate or help to stop this is to remove yourself from it, and then to go out and look and enjoy this planet, enjoy your life, enjoy friends and people around you and the connection between them. And this is by no means an overview video or any kind of exhaustive research video, but I think it serves as another good introduction to what we're going to try and get into with unifying principles, moving beyond the physical things you've seen in this series and what I just mentioned here, and showing how each of us individually can improve our lives, improve the lives of others around us, and improve the human species and this planet as a whole. And as I've said and will continue to say, it's impossible to put everything into one video of what true humanity is about and what I'm trying to do here and what we really are here for and to do and to experience. So I hope you've appreciated this kind of brief little introduction and overview to what I mean, generally speaking, about the unifying principles, and hopefully this is a good point moving forward where we can start exploring and examining further what I mean by this. And of course the other topics, not just unifying principles, but the human condition, current affairs, and so on. And also, parallel to this, I'll continue the series, if you want to call it, on ancient advanced civilizations and all the information pertinent to that. So a good note about One Strange Rock is I did read that National Geographic has ordered a second season of One Strange Rock. So if you do watch this series, which I highly recommend you do, especially moving forward when we're excuse me, discussing these topics here at True Humanity, you know, have some faith and, you know, some excitement, because it looks like that there will be a second season. Because, I mean, 10 episodes, 10 hours, you can only go on into so much about existence and humanity and so on. So I thank you for watching this video. I mean, I hope you have a great day, and if you found value in this video, these topics, this channel, I would appreciate if you'd like and share this video, subscribe to the True Humanity channel, you know, hit the notification bell so you can get alerted to new videos being added, and, you know, just try and go out and enjoy your life and enjoy being alive, as cliche as that sounds. You know, try and remove yourself from negativity, negative influences, negative thoughts, you know, and try and bring yourself into this positive atmosphere and enjoying what's around you. So I hope everyone has a great day, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next video as we continue the ancient advanced civilizations topics and delve deeper into these other topics such as the unifying principles, human condition, current affairs, and more. So have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later.